What if I told you that every single dollar invested in construction in Guyana right now is generating $2.50 in real economic value? That is not a marketing claim. That is a structural economic signal released by President Irfaan Ali himself, and it is backed by hard data that institutional investors, development banks, and sovereign wealth funds pay very serious attention to. Today, we break down what Guyana's $885 million credit wave means for you as a diaspora investor and exactly how to position yourself before this cycle closes. Let us start with the numbers because they tell a story very few people outside institutional finance are paying attention to yet. Guyana's real estate lending portfolio has officially surged to approximately 885 million US dollars. That is more than double its previous level of roughly 430 million US dollars. But the raw credit figure is not even the most important part of the story here. President Ali confirmed what economists call a construction multiplier of 2.5 times. For every $1 invested in construction right now, the broader economy is generating $2.50 in measurable economic value. How does that work here? Think about it this way. A developer breaks ground on a new residential community. That one project immediately triggers spending on cement, steel, lumber, plumbing, labor, transportation, and engineering services. Each of those expenditures generates income for workers and businesses who then spend locally. By the time the ripple effect settles, the original dollar has become $2.50 here. This is the documented mechanism behind every major infrastructure boom in history, and Guyana is in the middle of one right now here. Sand and stone consumption has hit historic multi-million ton highs. You cannot fake aggregate demand. The multiplier is real here. Now, before we go further, I want to be clear about something. A credible advisor does not just present the upside, they present the full picture. Guyana's oil revenues from the Stabroek block operated by ExxonMobil, Hess, and CNOOC are underwriting government infrastructure spending at an unprecedented scale. This is not a paper economy. The cash flows are real, and the infrastructure investment is committed capital, not borrowed optimism. The country has also officially crossed 1 million residents, driven by a young, upwardly mobile population entering the housing market for the first time. That is structural demand here. It does not retreat with a bad quarter. It compounds. The inventory of modern residential, multifamily, and commercial real estate is structurally insufficient to meet that demand here. Master planned communities, commercial plazas, and private estates. The market needs them, and right now, the supply simply does not exist at scale. That gap between surging demand and constrained supply is exactly where investor opportunity lives here. Here is what separates a professional advisory from a sales pitch. We are going to talk about the risks because you deserve to know them before you move a single dollar. Risk one is currency exposure here. Your returns must be modeled in the currency you actually live in and not the local currency of the market. Exchange rate movement over a 5 to 10-year hold can affect your realized return in either direction. Risk two is title and legal complexity. Clouded titles, informal ownership arrangements, and incomplete survey records are documented risks in Guyana's property market. These are not deal killers, but they are exactly the kind of issue an experienced legal team identifies before the transaction and not after. Risk three is lending access. The credit boom primarily benefits resident borrowers here. As a diaspora buyer, you face higher down payment thresholds, foreign income verification, and in some cases, local guarantor requirements. Navigating this without a specialist is one of the most expensive mistakes foreign investors make. Risk four is liquidity horizon. This is a 5 to 10-year hold market. The upside is commensurately larger, but the patience required is also commensurately greater. Know the risks, manage the risks, then capture the opportunity. So where does diaspora capital actually fit? Let me give you three specific plays here. Play one is residential development. If you have equity sitting in a Toronto, New York, or London property. That equity can fund construction of a residential compound or multifamily unit in Guyana's expanding suburban corridors. Rental demand is genuine, and construction costs are a fraction of North America. Play two is commercial retail positioning here. A rising middle class of 1 million people needs places to transact here. Commercial plazas anchored by service tenants are structurally undersupplied, and first mover investors stand to benefit disproportionately here. Play 3 is specifically for diaspora members aged 55 and above. Under Guyana's official remigration scheme, returning citizens can import their household effects and one private vehicle completely duty free. Sell your overseas property. Build a world class home in Guyana at a fraction of replacement cost and bank the difference as a retirement cushion. Three entry points. One theme here. The window is open, but it will not stay open indefinitely. Here is where we come in. The data is compelling and the opportunity is real. But data without disciplined execution is just a headline here. The difference between capturing the multiplier and losing capital to avoidable errors is not the quality of the opportunity here. It is the quality of the team guiding the transaction here. The Macmillan Group has been navigating cross-border real estate across Canada, the United States, and Guyana for over 25 years. We know which corridors are appreciating, which title structures carry risk, and how to move through the Guyanese acquisition process without the costly errors uninformed buyers routinely make. PrimePath Mortgage and Financing Solutions handles the financing architecture, cross-border mortgage structuring, foreign income verification, fund transfer strategy, and currency exposure management. When local banks ask questions that a standard North American mortgage application does not prepare you for, PrimePath has already built the answer into your deal structure here. The Macmillan Group finds the right opportunity. PrimePath analyzes it and prepares it for successful financing. You capture the multiplier without the landmines. Guyana has crossed 1 million people here. Real estate lending has hit 885 million US dollars here. The construction multiplier is 2.5 times. Oil revenues are funding infrastructure at a scale this country has never seen. The inventory gap is real. The demand is structural, and the diaspora is uniquely positioned to move first. Visit us at www.themacmillangroupinc.com or www.primepathmfs.com to schedule your private, confidential, cross-border consultation. We will assess your equity position, model your scenarios in US dollars, and map out your path safely, securely, and profitably. Clarity creates opportunity,